What is up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Don't Shoot Disc Golf podcast. I am your host, Harry Messenger, coming to you live from my studio in South Manchester. And I want to give a massive shout out to this week's show sponsors, of course, Disc Golf UK, making the show happen, and London Disc Golf Community, sponsoring the YouTube stream. Thanks so much to them both, and go check them out. And we'll talk more about London Disc Golf Community later tonight. But first, I have to welcome in this week's guest. I'm very excited for you all to find out who's on tonight, because of course it is the one, the only Mr. Derek Robbins. Derek, welcome to the stream.
To unmute.
There you go. You are unmuted, Derek.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you.
Welcome back. Good to see you. How's it going?
It's all going very well. Yeah, some beautiful weather. Could do with a bit of rain for the trees and the grass that I'm trying to grow, but it's nice to be out and about, certainly, and playing disc golf.
For sure, yeah. It's been really nice to be back out on the course on an evening and seeing so many photos of other people doing the same on social media. So really nice to see. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to Shane, Dale, Ian, Matt, Carol, KA, who I might be Cam, and Tom. So hello to everybody who's joined so far. If you would be so kind as to share the stream with a friend, I would appreciate that. Let's get the viewers here to see what Del's got to say, and we'll have a good evening. Have you got a drink, Del?
No, maybe I should.
You should. I have a drink here. I've got to shout out a friend, Daniel Shelton, new member of the disc golf community. Moved over here recently from the States, and he's been recommending gins to me. So I've got an aromatic tonic and Cairo Napue gin. Which
can I go and get a beer out of the fridge now?
Go ahead. I will. I'll talk shop while you're on the way. So hello everybody. Just me and you for this moment, and I will give a massive shout out to the sponsors again. Once again, Disc Golf UK are doing a really cool deal where you can go hang out with them on their website. You go check their website out, and they will be able to buy a multi-pack of dies. Del's brought the Clockwork Brewdog. Very nice beer. But yeah, go get your disc dyeing kit off Disc Golf UK, because they've just brought the whole shebang of different colour dyes to the UK. For the first time, I believe. So go check them out. There you go, Disc Golf UK. You got an extra shout out while Del got his beer. I hope that's appreciated. So before we go any further in the show, I've got an exciting teaser for you all. So I'm sure most of you will know I've been championing Casterblast a lot lately, and Casterblast Berg specifically, a very slow approach disc that's becoming very popular here in the UK. And we're going to be running a Berg only disc golf event. So the details are still a secret, but there's going to be an event. You're going to be showing up. You're going to get 2 Bergs with unique stamps that have never been seen before in the world, specific for the tournaments, as part of your players pack. And the only rules are you can only use those 2 Bergs or any other Bergs you want to bring during the event. You can't throw any other disc. It's going to be 2 rounds of probably 12 or 13 holes, and there's going to be other things going on during the day, and you'll get to walk away with 2 collector stamped Bergs. You can do what you like with them, and we'll have a good time. Those events coming in the next three or so months.
Cool.
There you go, little exclusive for you all. You'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. Speaking of events, Del, you've been lucky enough to have the restrictions lessened to a point where we can run events here in the UK again, and I believe you've announced quite a few lately.
Yeah, we've got a busy period coming up at Quarry Park, because the Women's Global event was moved to Quarry Park. That's on the 8th of May, and then I'm running 2 events. We've got an amateur event on the 16th, Sunday the 16th, and then the Quarry Park Open is a 2-day event on June the 11th and 12th, or 12th and 13th.
Cool.
So we try to separate it out so we can get as many people as possible a chance to play one of those tournaments at least.
Yeah, and I believe registration opened this week and was kind of crazy, as registrations have been all year for tournaments. How did that go down?
Yeah, we had the Google form. There was more than 160 forms filled. There were 8 or 9 duplications in there, but yeah, we already filled the amateur event, and we have a waiting list of maybe about 15 people on the waiting list,
Wow.
something like that. And then the Quarry Park Open, potentially we could take more people in that. There's a few considerations with the course. At the moment, I think we've got around about 70 or 72 players in the Open. I'm depending on the course configuration, I'm hoping that we could go up to 84 for that.
Wow.
But one of the things really is I really wanted to get the new piece of land established, to get the grass growing on there, which would enable us to use that for parking and also for the course. And because of the lack of rain, just the grass isn't growing, and we're having to water the trees by hand, and it's not getting established nearly as quickly as I would have hoped.
I see.
But we'll see how it goes. I think we'll probably bring some more people into the Open.
Nice.
You know, we're used to having a bigger field than 72. So
cool. Well, if anyone can do it, you can, because we've all of us who've experienced events at Quarry Park before have and know how good they are and how smooth they all run. So looking forward to it. I'm registered for the Open, so. Like I know it got a shout out on the In the Chains podcast as well that I was listening to earlier, but it's for me it is the highlight of the UK calendar. The Quarry Park Open is sort of the big event, so that's one I know a lot of people look forward to. So it's exciting that it's going ahead, and looking forward to it. Yeah,
I know lots of people are really keen to come and play that, and also particularly with the new land as well. If we can bring that into play at least on the Sunday. That'll be exciting, and yeah, there's always things happening at the course, are always moving it forwards. So that's it. I think it's exciting for people to come and they can see what's changed. Even just the trees growing every year, you know, the course is always changing.
Yeah, I tell you, I didn't think I'd experienced that much yet, because obviously I've been coming to Quarry Park since the summer of 2017 now. But that is actually long enough that some of the stuff is significantly different now, which is kind of cool. There's always bits of tree that are higher than you remember, and the big ones on hole 17 are always bigger than you think.
Yeah, and there's a few areas we've cleared out as well. And if we can do the big course on the idea is to have a big course on the Sunday, with the using 4 holes on the new land.
Nice.
Extending some of the existing holes to make it a proper sort of big championship course. It will probably just be the Sunday, because Saturday we want to play 2 rounds. And 2 rounds for 21 holes on a big course is just going to be too much. I think.
There'll be people struggling to throw the next day, I would imagine. If you did that, but yeah, that makes sense. No, I've been lucky enough to play a few of the longer holes already, and throwing from the top tee on the river ride hole. Don't know what hole it is on the new layout, but for anyone who doesn't know, there's already a big elevated tee by the river, and I got to throw from even higher, which was on the new field, which was kind of crazy, and already cost me 1 disc. So. So we've got that to look forward to if you're coming to the Open potentially. Yeah, and
for future years we've now got more space for parking with the new land. So it'll just be grass, but that should be fine in the summer. We've improved the entrance, by the way, for the main course. That's now tarmacked.
Very good.
We always had that problem with people coming in and there'd be a big bump as they went onto the gravel, which got.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure my Saab wasn't designed to bump down onto that gravel.
No, we'd occasionally get people with these lovely looking smart sports cars that sort of pretty low to the
holding,
ground.
yeah.
You'd see them looking very anxious at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I know how they feel on that one. There was once a specific incident last summer where I might have got a little bit stuck on one of the very small roads coming back from Charlie's course in Devon.
Oh yes.
I seem to remember you passing me while I was thoroughly wedged into a lay-by. But we live and we learn. So, also announced this week was the Quarry Park Masters, the date, which is going to be on Saturday, the 25th of September. So there's one for all of our older players. I know a lot of people look forward to that in the Masters divisions. I know that's their championship of the year. So that one's cool to look forward to.
Yeah, we got something for everybody at Quarry Park. We got the women's global event. We got the amateur event, which is purely for nobody higher than MA3 rated on that. Then we got the Open, which is oriented towards the pro divisions and MA2. And then we got the Masters event. So there's something for everybody.
There is, and it's really cool to see, and it's really exciting. So hopefully everyone gets to play a tournament at Quarry Park this year, and hopefully we can all go and shoot some good rounds. I was considering signing up for the MA3 event as well. I was thinking about filling out the form for both because I saw that there was an option to. But then I was hoping that there's a chance that I might not be able to play it because hopefully I will be rated over 900 by the time of the tournament. That was my ambition when I was thinking about it. I was feeling very confident coming into the Bedworth tournament. I was playing very well at my local course. My rating's already A80, so I only needed 20 more points. So I was very confident, and then I stepped up to the tee on hole 8 at Bedworth and proceeded to throw away a lot of that. So we should probably talk about the Bedworth tournament a little bit, which was this weekend. Let me switch over to the screen sharing facility. The lockdown breakout part 2. Didn't push the button. There we go. So, of course, we've got the Lockdown Breakout Part 2 last weekend at Bedworth. My first tournament of the year, and I think yours as well, Del.
Yep.
And in the Open Division, the tournament was taken down once again by James Luton. Hopefully we can see that okay. He shot a 15 under par, with the first round course record tying 46, which was unofficially rated 1038, so a very good round for James. But pushed all the way by Connor McHale, which is really cool to see. Connor has had a really great start to the season. Recent convert from Ultimate. Took down tournament already in Croydon. Second place this time round, averaging almost 1,000, 996, 997. So Connor's one to watch for sure. He's already up to 977 rated. I think he's going up even further in the next update. So congrats to Connor. And then Josh Birmingham taking third place, but quite a few shots behind. In the Open Division, Sue Underwood, as we would expect, winning Open Women for probably the 1,000th time in the UK disc golf scene history. It's going to be cool to see with so many more women players starting to play if some more people can challenge Sue for her British crown a few times this season. I know for a fact there's a few women up in Manchester who are absolutely crushing. And of course there's Rachel Turton up in Scotland. So I got to watch someone, one of the women up in Manchester called Bella, throw sort of 105 meters and absolutely park a hole this week, and I just was just mind blown. Like, yeah, so there's some good women coming up, and I'm excited to see how they do. Yeah,
Fantastic.
And our tags night, I was very glad I wasn't playing against Bella because she would have beat me by 4 shots this week. So I would have lost my tag, but luckily we're doing tags in COVID-safe waves, so my tag was safe. Here we are in the Pro Masters division, and of course, none other than Mr. Derek Robbins taking first place, shooting 9 under with a really nice rated 997 rated second round, which we think might potentially reach 1,000 again, which would be nice to see.
Yeah, I've been assured by the guy that actually initiated the rating system for PDGA.
That's a good person to be assured by.
He told me it would be more than 1,000 rated, so
Nice.
that's good enough for me.
There you go. So that would have been good enough for third place in Open. So if you were still hanging out up there, you would have been good.
Yeah.
And then in Am Masters, this is where the Manchester disc golf domination begun. Steve Edwards taking first, 3 shots away above Shane. So nice to see for Steve. And then in Int, Michael Sharkey only losing by 1 shot, so more Manchester. But congrats to Ian McNider for going from last place last week to first place this week. That's, for anyone who knows NIDS, that's probably the most NIDS thing you could possibly do. Improving by 23 shots between 2 weeks. But congrats to him. And very unlucky to Sharkey, somebody I play with a lot at Manchester. He... They had an incident on their live scoring where they had the scores 1 shot out of date, so he was slightly unaware of the actual ramifications of the last putt of the tournament and stuff. So unlucky to him, and well played, and much better than his previous one. I was here. I played this tournament. I ended up tied for 9th in MA2. My first official UK MA2 tournament where there had also been MA3, so not too bad. I played MA2 at the Quarry Park Euro Tour last year, or whenever that was. But my first official MA2 since moving to MA2. I had a pretty mediocre first round of +6, which is rated 872, which is slightly below my rating. I played really well. I was really happy with how my game was going. I played really well apart from 2 stupid holes. I got 7 on hole 8, which... for anyone who knows it, is not a hole. It's a hole that you can very easily get a 7 on, but it's not a hole that you should get a 7 on. I threw my first drive very confidently, having made it 4 times in a row in practice. I was like, oh, it's just going to be easy birdie, just make it, no wind. Didn't make it. It's a double mando that's about 50 meters off the tee, so there's a chance you can miss it, but you shouldn't really. And then you have to throw again straight away. And I was sort of in my head, and I was thinking, oh, should I lay up and get a 5, or should I go for it again and try and save a 4? And I kind of got caught between the 2, which is the absolute worst thing you can possibly do, and then missed the mando with some kind of awful layup attempt. So I was not best pleased with that, but apart from that, the round was pretty good. And I didn't, as Andrew Dow says in the chat, I didn't make the 8 on 8 as he did. But yeah, once that had happened, quadruple bogey, I was not particularly pleased with how the first round went. But apart from that, I played pretty well. And then the second round, aside from 3 different holes where I was out of bounds in a bunker within about 30 centimeters of being inbounds, I played well again. With 3 holes to play, I was 3 under par, which would have been a great round. And then I managed to end double bogey to end even par. But still good. And yeah, I was particularly pleased with my putting, because I managed to go the entire tournament until the second to last hole without missing a circle 1 putt, which
wow,
which for me was exceptional. That'd be exceptional for anybody, so I was very pleased with that. Little shout out to Don't Shoot member of the community, Shane Cooper, on tied for 3rd. He was leading after round 1. He had a slightly worse round 2, but as he says in the chat, no burn for him today because he averaged 925, which is great. So well done to Shane. And then moving down the leaderboard, shout out to Neve for winning Intermediate Women. Ben Coyle, another Manchester winner. Ben played really well. He's not often very confident at tournaments, so it was nice to see him get the win in MA3. And then Jason McNeice, who absolutely should not have been playing MA4, but his rating said that he should. So Jason rated 767, but has been absolutely crushing the last 3 months. He's had a few disc golf lessons. He's figured out his form. He throws 100 meters from a standstill, and doesn't need to be an MA4 anymore, Jason. So yeah, he would have won MA3, and he would have placed tied for 7th in MA2, averaging over 900. what more is there to say? Well done to Jason, but go play something else. And we got to meet. I got to meet Jay. We called him Jay. Don't know how to pronounce his first name, but I got to meet him for the first time, and I was really impressed with how clean his form was and how he looked like a really solid player. So he's the runner-up winner for MA4 behind the bagger. I get to say that because I play with Jason all the time. So congrats, Jason, on your win. And then, of course, shout out to Peter for competing and winning in Junior. Wow, that felt like I was talking for a long time. We got through it, though. We got through the Lockdown Breakout Part 2. And then, of course, this weekend's event, upcoming, is the Wembley Open. So this is the first of, I believe, 11 events that London Disc Golf Community have got planned at Horsenden Hill this year. Which ties into some other news, some other UK Disc Golf news, which is that Ollie Simonson, owner/leader of London Disc Golf Community, is attempting to go full-time in disc golf this summer. Ooh. He is trying to become one of a few members of the community who have made disc golf their jobs, but he's approaching it as a slightly different way to some of the other people. He was trying to make his main job being a TD of these events. He's come out publicly, did an interview on one of the other UK podcasts, and talked about how there's a bit of a stigma behind making a profit from events, but he's not afraid of trying to break that stigma a little bit. He says that there's obviously a need for people who want to play more events, and he's got the opportunity to run them, and he's going to see if he can make enough money off running the events that he can do it full time alongside his shop and his his own kind of course that he part owns in Horsenden Hill in London. So keep your ears peeled for many events from Ollie, and the first one is on Saturday. Be interesting to see how that works. As part of that, he's also announced that he's stocking more brands of discs at his shop, which is discgolf.london, and they just got some MVP in, so you know that I am all about that. So go check out discgolf.london and get some cool MVP. And thanks for sponsoring the show. But yeah, this week's event, I'm going to be there on Saturday, down in Wembley. And 21 players in the open division.
Wow.
That sounds pretty cool, right? The main reason for the 21 players in the open division is because there is no MA2. So the divisions are open, MA3, and MA4. And then some women's divisions. So 21 in open, including me, my first open event. Not particularly because I wanted to, but because would feel like I was kind of bagging a bit in MA3. Recreational 29 and recreational women 1 and novice 21. So lots of people signed up, looking forward to playing. The course has been kitted out with some Winthrop style OB lines apparently. The course layout itself only uses about a third of the area of the Horsenden Hill course because there's also foot golf and pitch and putt at the same course. So there's still plenty long holes. There's enough room for an 18-hole disc golf course, and it's really good use of the site. But in order to make it difficult enough for sort of an open level tournament, there's been OB lines painted, I believe. So I'm looking forward to working out if my specific game has enough accuracy or to navigate the tight fairways. Should be interesting to see. So I believe that's all. That's the only competition this weekend. Some weekends we're going to be having 2 these days. I know the BDGA try and keep competitions to 1 per weekend, but I think the need for that has sort of decreased with this many players looking to play competitions.
I think they always say that with C tiers that they can, there aren't that rules. They bring in rules so that higher level tournaments should have a certain distance between them.
Sure.
But yeah, there's enough players now to certainly justify having 2 tournaments.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you can spread them out geographically.
Yeah, I mean, even in the southwest, we've got the one where the North Devon and also the Whitcomb Farm the same
Yeah.
weekend, and they looks like they're both going to fill probably. So
Yeah, it's really nice to see. I think that one specifically works really well because the target audience for sort of the casual fun tournament at Whitcomb is fairly different to the target audience for sort of a serious, in inverted commas, B tier. But yeah, it's nice to see, and the more tournaments the better, and the more people who, like Ollie, can feel like they can make a profit from their tournaments enough that it's worth their time. I'm all in favor of tournament directors making some money, as long as they can find a way to make everybody happy with the payout levels, which I think is something that Ollie is going to find some pushback on, and also make all the AMs happy with their player packs and still make enough money. Go ahead. I really appreciate when there's transparency in the numbers as well. I don't know how Ollie specifically is planning on handling that, but for me, if the tournament director wants to pay themselves, as long as they tell me what they're paying themselves and why, it's up to me to make my decision if I still want to play the tournament. And likely I'm going to, because for me it's my favourite thing to travel and do. So why would I not?
yeah, I agree. I think it's fair enough. You know, the market can decide if there's. You know, it's nice when there's clubs that put on stuff, you know, with no fee or to raise money just for themselves. But yeah, diversity in it. Let everyone have a go.
Exactly, and there's always going to be those people who are willing to put on the event for free, willing to do the work and use it as a fundraiser or just something cheap. Like I know Arrow Valley's league are charging £0 for members and £6 for non-members or something, and they're just running some events and you can just go play and it's basically free. We've got our bag tag league up here in Manchester where we're going to run. This is exclusive news for the Don't Shoot podcast. We're going to run a few one-day bag tag events that are not going to be sanctioned tournaments. They're just going to be, this is the day where people are going to show up and play tags all day, and it's going to be semi-organised, and they're going to be completely free. There's going to be no charge beyond the cost of the bag tag, which people have already paid. So there's going to be a good diverse mixture of paid events with big prize pools and non-paid events with no prize pool.
Yeah, I think in most sports, you know, there isn't prize money. And certainly, you know, obviously I go back a long way with disc golf in the early days. And when I set up the BDGA, we didn't have prize money. The only time we'd have prize money is for the British Open. That was it. Because, and I would have felt rather awkward about it because I was dominant at that time. I was always going to be winning. So it wouldn't have looked very good for me to say, yeah, we should have some prize money. Thank you very much. I'll take it all for myself. But no, that was the way. You know, I didn't actually think it needed it. There's arguments for and against. I mean, at some stage, obviously in the States, you want it to go that way. You want there to be, you know, people who are full-time professional players. It's great to see. But you know, we're just recirculating our own money. So, I don't think we need to take money out of each other's pockets. If there's prize money, generally, I think it should be coming from outside. But
sure,
it does spice things up. You know, there's arguments for and against.
Yeah, I can see both sides, and I know there's some people who get really excited about the fact that there's a prize pool, and it's certainly a nice bonus when you do win something. I was lucky enough that the one MA4 event that I actually won happened to be, I think, probably still the most generously paid out MA4 event in UK disc golf history, which was the London Calling 2 event that was on the Perfect Flight Tour. I think my prize was about £90 worth of credit, which for winning an MA4 event seemed incredibly generous at the time, but it was much appreciated, and why not?
Yeah.
So yes, what should we talk about next? Sculptures at Quarry Park. Let's talk about sculptures at Quarry Park, and I'll put my screen share back on, and we can show. I'm pushing all the wrong buttons, but There we go. So tell us a little bit about these sculptures, Del.
Yeah, I've always loved public sculptures, sort of larger scale outdoor sculptures. And we've had at Quarry Park a couple of ones made from metal by a very, who's now quite a famous sculptress, Amy Goodman, who's been commissioned by the likes of Manchester United, various shopping centres. She's on the Warhorse Memorial. But anyway, I had loads of trees, some of the trees that came down in the storm a year ago, and a couple of others that I've taken down to try and manage the woodland. So we had lots of wood available, and I thought this is a fantastic opportunity. I need to clear this wood. I've got more than enough logs. So I contacted a sculptor who's based in Birmingham and contracted him for a week to come and produce as many sculptures as he could. And he's produced 7 of them. This is the sort of eagle, which is on the new piece of land.
Cool.
Which is fantastic. We had a lot of fun trying to put this together. You can see Ali going up the ladder there.
Yeah, he's trying to hold on to that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so much fun because we didn't have a particular plan to say, I want this, that, and the other produced. It was, he looks at a piece of wood and works out what he might do with it, and would check with me, say, do I like that idea? And basically, I said yes to everything he came up with.
Nice. So is this him you can see here?
Yeah, that's him. It's Graham.
Cool.
And then next there. So with this one, the tree had broken off. So you had this interesting, so the head of this, he calls this a sort of abstract orchid.
Okay.
And he just thought there's a really interesting bit where it's sheared off, and you got that sort of hollowed out bit at the top. So we just then had to take a lot of the wood out. And we had a lot of fun trying to put this up. I mean, there's a lot of weight in that. That thing was 15 foot long. It's 3 foot
Wow.
underground, which meant the center of gravity was still quite some way up.
Yes.
We had half a dozen of us trying to push it up, and then we got to the point where, we got as far as we could go with that. And they got a few more people who were playing the course, got them to grab hold of some straps so that they could pull it while we pushed it, and we managed to get it upright into the hole, and
nice.
Packed it all in. Yeah, and you need something that big. And this is the thing, if you've got an outdoor sculpture, you can look at something, well, that would look fantastic, and you put it outdoors and it looks
tiny. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, but this, I mean, that's quite a wide area, and that has got the scale to really do justice to the area.
I wonder if anyone's managed to hit it with a disc yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, the chances are that they have. I'm going to guess the over-under.
I nearly had an opportunity to get a fantastic photo of it a little while later. I came one morning and there's a heron sat on top of it, and it looked fantastic. But unfortunately, it flew off before I could take a picture.
Very good. And then, of course, this one. I think this was my favourite of the ones I've seen so far.
This one certainly captured the imagination more than any other. I posted this just on my personal Facebook profile, and it had 409 likes.
Very good.
And it was more than 40 comments, and it was shared 86 times.
Wow.
So I've never had a post on Facebook that's had quite that much reaction.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure the first time I saw it, it was because it was shared on, I think it was on Reddit. And I think I just saw it and I was like, hang on, isn't that Quarry Park? And then later I saw it on your Facebook and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one's getting around.
Shared all around the world.
Very nice.
And it's even come on a little bit since then. I took that photo. Since then, you can see that the thumb on top has a. You can see the thumbnail.
Yeah.
There's another picture from the other side, and at that time they hadn't done the nails on the fingers, but he's got that detail on there, and it's those little things which make it even better.
For sure, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing them in person and seeing the scale, because you can't really see the scale through the photos. And then there was this photo as well, which of course was a very inspired picture that you took in the sunset.
Yes, yeah.
So is this one
pretty cool?
Was this one done in place, or is this another fallen tree?
That piece of wood has actually been there for more than a year, and I was intending to do something with it. It's a natural sort of tripod setup, and I hadn't figured out quite what I was going to do with it. But fortunately, Graham saw it and thought, "Yeah, we can make that stand nice and properly on its own." So that's not dug into the ground. Freestanding. We can move that somewhere else.
Cool.
With a little bit of difficulty. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it. And
I think this one is that was ash as well. So the thing is with these sculptures is that most of them are from poplar, and poplar is not a long-lived wood. So we're treating it, but it may,
they may not
it's
be
not
forever.
like an oak sculpture, which will last a very long period of time.
Yeah. Metal ones will last forever, but these ones might be a shorter-lived thing.
Yeah.
So this was
the orchid under construction.
Work in progress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Cool. I think that's all the photos I've got. So thanks for sharing your insight, Del.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. People can go around the course and they may not see all of them at once. And I think that just adds that sense of discovery when you're going around is more part of the experience.
For sure. I think that'll be really nice for some of the new people, especially people who aren't sort of passionately into disc golf. It'll be slightly just more interesting for the people who are here. Oh, what should we do today? Let's go to disc golf. Oh yeah, there's some cool sculptures here. So I think that'll be nice for them.
And I have created a fundraiser to try and raise some money to purchase a big eagle. So we've got the eagle on the course made from poplar, but Graham has made an even bigger one with wings sort of not quite so close together as well, out of oak, and he thinks it would look good at Quarry Park, and he's prepared to sell it at a cheaper price than he would normally expect. But I'm in the process of trying to buy a very expensive apartment next to that. So I thought it would be nice if people who appreciate the sculptures and support Quarry Park might feel happy to part with a bit more money and bring this eagle to Quarry Park. So that would be.
I'd certainly like to see it. I've put my tenner. I put my tenner in the hat. So.
Yeah. You have. Thank you very much.
So if everyone in chat right now was to put their tenner in the hat as well, we would have almost another £100. So to those of you who are here, I appreciate you, and to those of you who are watching this later on, because I know I've got a lot of viewers who watch after the fact and watch the video. So to you guys, I appreciate you all, and give Del some money for his big eagle.
Yes. Yeah, it will be very impressive, and so it's made of oak, so it will last a long, long time.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to hopefully one day seeing it at the course.
Yeah.
So, Del, we've got some questions, and I've given the episode the title Ask Del Q&A. We've got, I think, 10 questions. You don't have to answer all of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a giveaway for the winner of who I decide asked the best question. It might be the best question because the answer was good. It might be the best question because I like the question. It might be the best question because I appreciate the person who asked it. We'll see. And this giveaway is sponsored by the Don't Shoot Disc Golf Patreon. So I've now got a Patreon. Some people who appreciate the show donate me a little bit of money every month, and I use that money to make the show better, including doing giveaways. So the winner of this giveaway will be able to pick one disc of their choice from any UK disc golf retailer, and I will buy it for them from the Don't Shoot Disc Golf Patreon. How about that?
Cool.
Yeah. So here we go. We'll start with Rafa. Rafa from Bristol Way asks, how and when did you first start throwing frisbees?
Okay, I got my first frisbee when I was on holiday in Canada, and I was just straight away. I was blown away by the fact that this thing could hover. This is back in the old days. These are not golf discs. This was before golf discs ever existed.
Sure.
There were no heavy plastics. This was 1973, I think, 72 or 73. Yeah, on the Pacific coast, Vancouver Island. Yeah, that was the moment that changed my life.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool.
I just got that. I thought, this is amazing. I was in awe that you could throw a disc accurately over straight to somebody, and especially that it could hover in the air, defying gravity.
Very nice.
Captured my imagination.
Cool. Ian wants to know, Ian McDougall, that is, what is it like being a legend?
It's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it's in 2004 I was inducted to the Disc Golf Hall of Fame, and that is kind of my proudest moment. I mean, it's not a throwing achievement or whatever, but it's I guess that if I have legend status, that's something that sort of confer it on me.
Sure.
And yeah, it's a fantastic honor, and I get to, go. I've been to the Disc Golf Hall of Fame Classic a few times, and you get your own little area and snacks and
nice.
Appreciation. I lap that up there.
For sure. Yeah, as you should.
It's cool. It's quite funny also because lots of people don't know that I have this long history in the sport, and that I've had a lot of success in the past. So there's lots of new people new to the sport, and they'll come to Quarry Park and say, they'll ask me, do you play as well? And
there you go.
So, there's lots of stuff that, and all my friends I play with, they'll give me loads of grief on different stuff. So my feet are kept firmly on the ground.
Sure. Well, it wasn't long after it was before I'd even first met you, in fact, the first time that I heard of you being a legend. The very first time I ever came to Quarry Park, you weren't there. You were playing at a tournament, I believe, in Croatia. And Andy Malcolm was watching the shop on the first time I ever went to Quarry Park. And so we played our round, me and my friends, and I thought it was fun. And I was talking to Andy after, and I was missing putts from 1 meter away, and Andy was showing me how to putt the disc horizontally instead of vertically. And I asked, do you own this course? And he was like, oh no, it's owned by Derek. And I said, who's that? And he said, oh, Derek, he's one of the best disc golf players ever, was his description. So that was my introduction to you. And a big shout out to Andy Malcolm, who does massive things for the game. So appreciate you, Andy.
Yeah.
So next question from Michael Healy. What's your ace count, and which was your favourite ace?
I don't know what my count is. I haven't really kept track. I mean, in tournaments, it's not like some crazy big number, maybe 10 or something. I don't know. I know I've had aces in a few different. I remember having an ace at Essex University. I remember having one in Ireland. I remember having one in the Czech Republic in a tournament. I had an ace in the States. But my most memorable one was in Switzerland, and it was in a temporary course in Gstaad. You go up in a cable car, top of the mountain, and play around the top. And there was a hole which was, I think, 116 meters long.
Okay.
And slightly downhill, not hugely downhill, but slightly downhill. And you could see the basket from the tee, but there's no way you could throw that line. The line to the basket was between rows of pine trees, and it was only like a couple of meters wide.
Wow.
So I did a big turnover shot, actually. I sent it way out to the left, turned it over, and it came floating in, and I was thinking, this looks pretty good. And I saw it cross over this gap that I could look down. It crossed over, hit a pine tree, bounced back into the basket.
Wow.
For a 116-meter ace.
Cool. That's so cool. Oh wow. Yeah, that definitely must be a memorable one.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I like that story. The next question from Amanda. Which hole is your favourite at Quarry Park and why?
Oh, I don't know. That's like, it's like having a favourite child, really, almost. I don't know. They have different appeals to them. So,
Sure.
Standing on the tee of the Hawk's Nest is fantastic. Looking out, downhill over the valley is great. I love that. I think one of the holes. One thing I really like with disc golf is that, although I love throwing straight shots, and the people will know that I love throwing stuff that just goes straight, but it's the ability for this to sort of go round, to shape your throws, to get that sort of reverse S curve. I really like. So I always like oblong or left. It's just oblong now, really, which is 9 blue and 7 on the black course, where you have to put it, for a right-hander, you put it onto an Anheuser angle, and then as it slows down, it goes parallel to the trees, and then at the end it turns left. And I'd always love to try and do that throw to somebody that hadn't seen disc golf played and say, you couldn't do this with the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, that is a really cool one.
So I like that. I really love hole 15 as well.
That would have been my answer if I was answering the question. I'm gonna put the UK Disc Golf News graphic back up while we talk about hole 15 because it's kindly stolen from Quarry Park hole 15.
Yeah, it's a great hole. It's that again, I would throw that to get that little bit of reverse S, and it's really good because there's a fine margin. If you go too long, you're down the hill. If you come out too early, and fade off to the left, then you've got no view. So it's a hole which is still just about, for me, I'm losing distance, but I can still park it occasionally. But it's juiceable, but then you don't get it quite right, then you may not even have a putt. Or if you're too short, then you got the death putt. So I do like that hole.
Yeah, I really like it. It's my favourite hole at Quarry Park, and a good answer. Yeah. Okay. Good question. Thank you, Amanda. So, question from Stan. Stan wants to know, where do you see the British disc golf scene in 10 years' time?
Ooh. Well, that's interesting. I haven't really thought too much about it.
It's a hard one, right? Because the situation's so volatile right now.
It is. I mean, it's just expanding hugely at the moment. So I'm sure there's going to be more courses, and I'm pretty excited with what with Rich Hatton is doing with Disc Golf UK. Because I think that's really building up the momentum.
Definitely.
So more courses, more discs, more businesses. You got likes of there's different people selling discs now that just come onto the market. I just saw another one today from your area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the whole thing's expanding, and will we have full-time touring professionals even in the UK? Will there be a professional scene?
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting to think about, because it certainly could have, but then will that be can you make a living playing disc golf in the UK? It seems surreal, but I guess to the people in America who were trying to do it 10 years ago, it probably also seems slightly surreal. So
Yeah. But you know, could we be where in 10 years' time? Could we be where Finland is now?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Where there's, you know, there's players. Yeah, it'd be really nice to see more players making a living from it. There are quite a few now. I mean, it's crazy to think sort of 10 years ago where we were. There were just you know, it was just Chris O'Brien and Nigel Williams with their disc shops and myself. There weren't really many people employed in disc golf, and now
Yeah, there's a few more
there's
now.
quite a few.
Definitely, it's interesting to think about, and hopefully the scene keeps growing. If it keeps growing at the rate we saw this year, then I think there'll be a lot of people who make it work.
Yeah, it'd be really good to have some high level UK players. This is one thing that we're lacking now. It'd be good to have some 1,000 rated players going off to Europe and making a name for themselves, and then having the people that are coming along, younger players coming along and identifying with them. I think now, if you're I don't know, 14 or 15-year-old, and you're looking there and you think, well, I suppose the encouraging thing is you could look at it and think, well, I could compete, I could hang with these guys, I could work on my game and compete with them. But if they could look at that and see somebody and say, I could do that, and I could be like, you know, this person X,
Yeah.
and I could be traveling around Europe and earning money, and yeah, I think we need some high level players.
That'll be good to get that going in the UK. I'm excited about that, and we're on the way. We're definitely on the way. I'm excited to see what people like Noah and like Connor can achieve, because I think they're well on the way to the 1,000 mark and keeping it.
Yeah, but even just having that pyramid, having this big broad base where, you know, most people know what disc golf is, and lots of people have just, you know, enjoy it casually. It's fantastic. You know, I get a lot of pleasure from that at Quarry Park. I'm excited about high level play, but I'm excited that people just come and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's such a big thing, and it's definitely growing. And you hear every day, you just hear something else about a certain specific way that there's somebody new being introduced, or you hear a story. Another shout out for In the Chains podcast. You can tell I was listening to it today, but Ollie told a story on there that he said that hopefully soon London Disc Golf Community is going to do a collaboration with a YouTuber who's got 10 million subscribers. And even just the concept of 10 million people subscribing to something is crazy. And if they can get disc golf on something like that, that could be huge.
Yeah.
So very exciting. Next question from Katrina. When are you moving into your new apartment, and does it have views of the course?
Well, yeah, I'm working on that. I need to go and talk to a building society about borrowing some money.
Yes.
But that's good news today. I'm trying to basically, I've got to amass money from a number of different sources.
Sure.
And my mum's helping out. My sister's going to lend me some money. And today I had good news on my pension. I'm hoping I can get that all big lump sum, my pension available at the end of May. So my target is definitely to buy before the end of June, because stamp duty goes up.
Sure.
My problem is I've got to sell my house, otherwise I've got to take out an even bigger loan. But I think I can do that. And in terms of views of the course, yes, they because they took out quite a few trees, so they've opened up what was an overgrown garden. So I can clearly view people teeing off on hole 15, for example, and holding out on 14. I can see the 16th basket. Yeah, those are probably the two main views I've got.
Nice. Oh, that's a good bit of the course to see, though. Very nice. It's very exciting to see you getting to do that. My parents are also moving house, moving out of my childhood home and getting a new place and stuff, so I can empathize with your sourcing money from various places. Okay, 3 more questions. Ryan wanted to know, other than Quarry Park, what is your favourite course to play?
Uh, Wickham Farm, Bedminster. I just think that is one of the most beautiful places on earth. I love it there.
I have to do that this year. That has to be on the list.
Yeah.
I haven't been yet, so.
There's some pretty spectacular places elsewhere. I played played, as you probably know, as I often tell people, I've played disc golf in 34 different countries now, I think. So I've seen a lot of places. Cool. Sula is pretty special. It's got some nice in Norway.
Yeah.
And St. Thomas in Austria is also very, very beautiful. Yeah, there's lots of good courses around the world.
Yeah, hopefully we all get to see them all at some point. Max wants to know, what is your favourite memory with a touring pro?
I tell you what was nearly close to being an amazing sort of memory. I mean, there are lots of really good memories, actually. Some really good ones. I went to the US Disc Golf, the PDGA's headquarters. I was traveling around. I lived with Dave Greenwell, who's a multi-time world champion. And this was the time they had the first two courses designed at the PDGA's headquarters. And the third one was going to be designed, it's going to be called like the Champions course.
Okay. And
the three champions they were involving was David Greenwell, Stan McDaniel, and Ken Climo, who were just like three of the all-time greats, world champions. And I was with them, sort of mapping out where the holes might go. I thought, this is amazing to be in with three of these absolute legends of the game, working out where to play.
Wow.
But on that same trip, I actually played doubles with Ken Climo.
Wow.
With him. This is not in a tournament. This is just fun doubles. It was me and Dave Greenwell against Stan McDaniel. Me and Ken Climo against
Dave and Stan. Wow.
Stan, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Although I had played in a tournament, I guess this is one of my claims to fame. Back in '91, I think, I played in a Can-Am Series event, and my first round was pretty good. I beat one of the Listmans, who was again one of the very top players in the first round. Second round, on merit, I was in the lead card with Ken Climo.
Wow, there you go.
In terms of actual, playing on merit with the reigning world champion.
The best player ever, potentially.
Yeah. Yes.
I guess that definitely counts as a favourite memory with a touring pro. I think we've checked that one off.
Yeah. He was the GOAT at that time, for sure.
For sure. And finally, Donna wants to know, what do you think are the best ways to increase the amount of junior players in the sport in the UK?
Oh, that's
that could be an entire podcast topic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, actually. I think that's one area I feel a little bit guilty about not really doing anything to particularly expand the number of juniors playing.
I think something that I would say, I'm not Derek, but my answer would definitely be working with the scouts and the guides. I think those are and the brownies and those sort of organizations. I think those are children who have almost already self-identified as being interested in the outdoors, and I think disc golf is a really great way of enjoying the outdoors because it's a fun activity that you can do while also taking in all of the nature and the scenery and stuff. And I think there's a big part of things like the scouts that have an emphasis on that, and they also have an emphasis on some sports that go on, and there's also a big sort of community aspect about caring for your environment and stuff that really ties in well with disc golf. So I think for me, I would like to see the BDGA pursue a more official relationship with the scouting and guiding associations.
Yeah. Well, in a normal year, we get lots of scout and guide groups at Quarry Park. At the moment, that's we have got a guide group coming. I know they're in touch with me this week. But it's how you continue that on. I mean, the problem is really that unless you're in a town centre park, it's how do the children actually get to the courses?
Sure.
But the scouts in Coventry have got their own set of baskets. You know, they have at least 9 traveller baskets. So they have, and I don't know whether they still do, but they certainly do have the equipment to run events on their own pieces of land.
Yeah, and I mean, this disc golf's so affordable, right? Like,
yeah,
we're in the process of building a new course up here in Manchester. We're hopefully going to have good news about that very soon. But to me, like the idea, we're going to build a disc golf course. We must need like 30 grand or something. But no, like to get 18 baskets and we just have natural tees to start with and some tee signs, it's like 3 grand. Like, I mean, we fundraised that for charity like last week. Why can't more people do that? Why can't we get more courses in? So so it definitely is possible, and like companies, but organizations like Scouting and Guiding, they've got land that they can put baskets in. Lots of them have big scout huts, got parks and stuff. They can put some baskets outside. It might not be a full course, but it's a cheap, fun activity that they can play. So I think that's a good way into the.
Yeah, I think also it's a matter of getting some momentum. I think what's been really interesting with the women's game is, you know, for many years we never had more than 5 women turn up to a tournament in the UK, and it kind of perpetuates itself a little bit, because then I suppose women would look at it and think, I don't know, doesn't seem to be oriented for us. But when you get more women playing, then that just attracts more women, because they think, well, now I'm one of a bigger gang, and it would be the same for children. It may come from there being more children of disc golfing parents.
Sure.
And then if there's enough of them, then they've got, kids want to be part of a group. They want to be with people of their own age. At the moment, it's not going to be very appealing to go to a tournament when there's only going to be maybe 1 or 2 other children going to be there. So if we can get more, and if we could have interested parents running some sort of clubs and stuff as well. So if different courses had every 9 o'clock Saturday morning, there's a little group activity for youngsters to go to.
Yeah.
Then I think it could build some momentum. At the moment, we haven't got that, but I'm sure it will come.
It will, and I think something else that will help with that is the disc golf lessons starting to become a thing, because having people available to teach kids will really help with that. And I know this year, since 2020, disc golf lessons have actually become sort of more realistic for a lot of people in the UK. Because I mean, historically, if you wanted a disc golf lesson, you pretty much had to go to yourself or like maybe 1 or 2 other people, and you had to look around your schedules and stuff. But whereas now there's more and more people starting to do it. Like we've got Matt up here, we've got James Luton and Josh both saying that they're teaching now. So it's starting to become a more realistic thing to get people doing disc golf lessons. And it might be that we get to the point where kids want to go to disc golf lessons and learn in a group and stuff. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've reached the end of the show. 10 o'clock, time for bed. We've got to pick a winner of our giveaway. So for me, it's going to be between 2. I'm going to let you pick, Del. My 2 favourite questions were, which is your favourite hole at Quarry Park? Because I enjoyed hearing your thoughts about that. And what's your ace count? And what is your favourite ace? Because I liked hearing the story about your overseas 116-metre shot. So which of those 2 questions is going to win the giveaway?
Oh, I don't know. Go on, Harry, you decide.
Oh, you want me to pick? Okay, I'm gonna pick the ace count one, because I really enjoyed that story, and I don't know if I'd have ever got to hear it if I didn't have that question. So the winner is going to be Michael Healy, and Michael, I will be in touch. And to everyone who's stayed with us tonight, enjoyed the show, And to everyone listening in the future, thank you for staying around. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for Del for coming on the show. Really appreciate you joining me tonight.
My pleasure.
And thanks to our sponsors, London Disc Golf Community. Go buy MVP off their site. And Disc Golf UK. Go buy other things off their site. And let's keep growing disc golf in the UK, and let's do this again soon, Del.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, and good night, everybody.
Cheers.